Thank you guys for coming. It is appreciated. Just to give you a breakdown of today's events, Dan, our owner, Dan Newman, will speak first and field some questions. He'll then introduce our head coach, Derek Stingley, and he'll also address you all and answer some questions. We do have some players here that are selected to speak. You can raise your hand as I say your name. Wide receiver and kick returner, P.J. Berry. Derek Brown, defensive back. Quarterbacks, Danny Wimpron and Lester Ricard. And our offensive lineman and defensive lineman, Mokeet Ruffins. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to our owner of the New Orleans VooDoo, Mr. Dan Newman.
There was more clapping on this side of the room because all of them work for us. You don't know how much I appreciate you being here. We know that you had lots of choices today. There's lots of stuff going on in the New Orleans area, but you came here and we appreciate that. I can't go any further without introducing you to the real head coach, the real GM, the real owner of the VooDoo, my wife, Marianne. Wave. Most of you were here on September the 14th when we announced the VooDoo coming back to New Orleans. And there has been so much that has occurred since September the 14th. It's amazing to me, a lifelong Louisiana resident and native, that I really didn't understand how big arena football is in this state, how big it is here, and how much people like the VooDoo. Let me just give you a kind of an update of where we are in relationship to the season. I'm sure you know that we're in training camp now. I was blessed last night to see the first full pad practice at the Orleans Center on the West Bank, and there's 35 guys out there fighting for a job. They really want to play on this team, and we have some amazing athletes in camp. I'm just excited. I was talking to our offensive coordinator, who you'll meet in just a few moments, and he's nervous and excited, and I'm nervous and excited, and we looked at each other, and yeah, this is what we look forward to every year. This is the fun time for all of us. The football stuff is really fun. There's a lot going on in the league, just fantastic stuff happening. What strikes home to all of us here is that this team leads the league in season ticket sales. And let me put that in point of reference for you. We're talking about the cities of Chicago and Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and Atlanta, San Jose, Phoenix, Orlando, Tampa. Bigger cities, bigger markets, but people here are ready for the VooDoo to be back, and they're demonstrating it by buying tickets. We started, Jason Koffel, our Vice President of Operations, we started a promotion this morning that went live this morning. And this morning, that promotion, 250 more season tickets were sold in just half a day. So it's a pretty exciting time for us in the organization, and we're going to get a glimpse of what to expect here tomorrow night. And before I introduce Coach Stingley, I just want to tell you a little bit about it. For those of you, I wish you would educate your readers and your viewers on what to expect. This is very untypical in our league to do what we're going to do tomorrow night. It is really nuts and bolts in practice, in training camp. We're bringing in the Dallas Vigilantes. They will be here tonight, actually, and we'll spend the day tomorrow night in the New Orleans arena in this scrimmage, we're calling it, and then do some work privately with the VooDoo on Saturday morning before they leave to go back. We feel like this team belongs to the people of New Orleans, and so we want them to see from the beginning what the creation of this football season looks like. The arena will not be dressed up like it will be for our home opener on March the 11th against Tampa. The pretty advertising signs won't be stuck on the pads on our walls. They're just going to be ugly blue pads sitting up there. We have a brand new field coming in for the arena. The field is here and will be there, but the end zones are not here. So we have some old arena football end zones that will be there. We're not going to do our fancy pregame introductions with the famous crypt scene and the fog and the gates on the cemetery and Bones, our storied mascot, coming out. This is going to be a work session, a blue-collar session, and we're inviting everybody to come free to see the team. For those who haven't purchased season tickets yet, to walk around and find a seat. Our staff will be all over the arena making themselves available for people who want to buy season tickets. Merchandise will be offered. Our official merchandiser for the year, Monogram Express, will have all kinds of stuff. We are asking fans, and New Orleans is a jersey town. You go to the Hornets games, you go to the Saints games, fans love jerseys. Well, we want our people to wear our team's home jersey. We want the purple VooDoo jersey on March 11th all over the New Orleans arena. So there's going to be a lot of purple jerseys around for sale tomorrow night. We're getting ready for the kickoff, and we're inviting the fans of New Orleans to come in and be a part of that process. Our Director of Media Relations, Brandon VooDoo, will tell you folks exactly what we have available for you and make sure we do the right stuff, because we want to accommodate you and make your job as easy as possible tomorrow night in the upcoming season. We understand you don't have to do this for us, and we're very appreciative of what you do, and we want to make it as simple as possible. So all that being said, before we meet Coach Stingley, I'll just open it up. Once again, say thank you for being here, thank you for your support, and if you have any questions, let them fly. Yes, we're excited because Cox, one of the greatest media companies there is, approached us, and we've reached agreement. All of our home games will be broadcast, and they will either be on the NFL Network, which is another thing we should mention. If you don't know, the league has a partnership. We're in our second year with the NFL Network, and they have chosen to broadcast 3 of our home games live on the NFL Network. We're the only team in the league that will have 3 home games broadcast live on the network. Our other 6 home games will be broadcast on Cox. And Ken Trahan, the voice of sports in this area, in many respects, will be doing the play-by-play. So we're excited to have that partnership with Cox. It's going to be good for the community. People that are unable to get here will be able to see their VooDoo play. Well, let me just tell you the stats. In 2008, the organization sold 13,000 season tickets. No other AFL team did that, and they sold out every game. No other team did that. And we haven't seen those numbers yet, but we're still several weeks away from the beginning of the season. But it's obvious. People, I mean, we all tell people what we think with our wallets, and we came back and used the same ticket prices that were here in 2008, and people have just responded. We have not had to do a lot of reaching out and spend a lot of our resources on advertising and promotion. In fact, the week that we announced, September 14th, was on a Tuesday at noon. By the end of that day, without any marketing, without any plans to sell tickets that day, our ticket operation sold more tickets than had ever been sold in a week in the AFL. I don't. Where's Jason Koff? What kind of numbers did we sell that first week? You remember? I apologize, we don't have the numbers. It's just something that, it's remarkable to us, and it's remarkable to everyone in the league. We share, because the structure of the Arena Football League is one company, and there are 18 owners in that one company. It's not like the old financial model when the Bensons owned the VooDoo, where each team was an entity unto itself, and it employed all of the not just their staff, front office staff, but coaches and players. It's not that structure anymore. All the players and coaches are employees of the league, and it's split up 18 different ways, and we own the league. And so that kind of makes it a little different than before. In this concept, we share everything. We're opponents on the field, off the field, we're business partners. Every week we do reports league-wide regarding corporate sponsorship, ticket sales, ticket revenue. We're number one week after week. Marianne, are we happy? Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, let's get right to the meat of it, who you came here to meet today. The head coaching situation here for the Voodoo did not happen the first day. And with everything that's gone on and with planning and preparation and technically building a brand new franchise, even though it's not, lost in the shuffle was a formal introduction to you of our head coach, Derek Stingley. Derek is obviously the son of the legend NFL wide receiver, Darryl Stingley, who was tragically paralyzed when he played for the NFL New England Patriots. Derek grew up in an NFL family. He was a phenomenal athlete when he was young. And most people don't know this, but he played professional baseball before he started playing professional football. He had a long career in the Arena Football League, and after retiring as a player, got into the coaching ranks. He's been very successful Coach of the Year in Georgia. A couple of years ago, he was our defensive coordinator in Bossier Shreveport, and the next year was under contract to be the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans VooDoo when the team ceased operations. So we were fortunate and very glad that when we talked to Derek about coming back to New Orleans, he lives in Baton Rouge permanently with his family, we were able to bring Derek Stingley back, and he is well respected throughout arena football. He's going to be introducing you to the coaching staff or some of the members that he has been able to put together who also have tremendous credibility and experience and qualifications. And it speaks highly of our organization when he's able to bring the players and the coaches to town that he has been able to do. And he's here for one reason and one reason only, and he said it from the beginning. He plans on winning Arena Bowl. And this year, if that should happen, it will be back here in the New Orleans Arena. And so I'm excited and glad to have him as our head coach, Derek Stingley.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. Dan said it right. You know, my goal is to be in the championship game. We as coaches, that's what we coach for. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm saying I expect to be there. We're going to do our best to get there as a staff and most definitely as the players for the New Orleans VooDoo. Before I get going, I just want to introduce my assistant coaches that's here today. My offensive coordinator, Ben Bennett. He's been around arena football just as long as arena football has been around. He's been very successful as an offensive coordinator, as a coach, as a player. He was a quarterback. He's won championships as players and as a coach. I've battled a lot against Ben in the AF2. He's had my number more than I've had his, and I think it was a good signing for him and I to get together. I also have Coach Tucker. He's my O-line, D-line coach. He's been around arena football probably as long as I've been around, and that's like 14, 15 years at this time. Tuck has been in the arena football as Arena Football League as a player for the Arizona Rattlers the majority of his career. Then he started coaching in the AFL with the Arizona Rattlers as well. He had a little stint with the Los Angeles Avengers. I just want to say this, and I never have the opportunity to say it publicly. Dan and Marianne, you guys don't understand the way I feel about you guys giving me the opportunity to be the head coach of this team. I had this opportunity before, and I thought it was my dream job when I was here in 08 to get ready for the 09 season, and it was taken away from me. Before my father passed away, we talked about me either playing professional football here in the city of New Orleans with the VooDoo or coaching. And my father didn't get the opportunity to see me either play or coach here. But Dan called me one night in September and told me to think about the fact that I could possibly be the head coach. I was in shock. I hung up the phone. I looked at my wife, and instantly, I'm somewhat emotional. I started crying because I couldn't believe that there was going to be